as we make our way up to the observatory, the observatory was actually, it came into play actually in the late 1800s by Dr. Samuel Langley, who he believed the sun caused changes in the climate of the earth. So by thinking this, he thought that by measuring these changes, scientists could predict climate events. So himself and his protege, Dr. Charles Abbot, pursued this theory, and the observatory was built and basically testing begun. Now, the observatory ran from 1920 to about 1925, and there was about 8 scientists that lived and worked up there. It was funded out of Washington by the Smithsonian. But by 1925, it was decided that another location would be more suitable due to severe weather conditions and basically being caused by haziness. And if you think of Arizona, and especially the Phoenix area, they called it the Dust Bowl. And because of the less of the population back then, it would get severe dust storms, thunderstorms, which would be causing this type of weather from my understanding. So they moved the station. Everything was closed in 1925 here, and it was moved to Southern California to Table Mountain. You're starting to see some of the radar dish come into play right now as we continue coming up to the observatory. It was actually a 2-story structure that included both a laboratory and living quarters with 4 rooms on each floor. However, the building did start developing large cracks, but they were already closing it in 1925. As you can see, there's the entrance sign. This is actually, you can actually pull off, and this is kind of a lookout area and a parking area. If you have a lot of Jeeps, you might want to have some people park there, but if you continue up the road, you'll see there's actually spot for a couple more, maybe 3 or 4 Jeeps, and that's where we went. And you'll see the structure or the observatory come into view here very shortly. The observatory is not accessible. I mean, you can't get inside the building anymore just because of the structure is falling apart, and they tried to preserve it. And this building that you see straight ahead was actually put on the national, about, I think it was 1975, they put it on the National Register of Historic Places. So, but that is actually the observatory, and from our understanding, there was no telescopes used here. It was different type of measuring equipment on how they measured the climate back then. So it was strictly just scientists living and doing mathematical equations to figure out this climate change. Now, about where you see the windsock, there is another building up here, and it's electronic monitoring station, I believe. And I'm sure other radar dishes or people lease these antennas up here. But there's another building that's not lived in, but from our understanding, it is used by the Central Arizona Project, a canal system that monitors that system. But anyways, you can definitely get up there, check out these buildings. Highly recommend 4-wheel drive, although you could make it in a stock vehicle, because 2 of the Jeeps that we had were stock vehicle, but definitely 4-wheel drive. And I only say high clearance because during weather systems could wash out the road a little bit more, so you never know the conditions. But you do climb in elevation. It was about a 3,600 foot gain in elevation, so it's nice and cool up there. Windy, but we enjoyed it. We could feel the temperature drop. But just remember, it's the desert, so bring plenty of food, water. Go with people if you can, or let somebody know where you're at. But we enjoyed this. It's anywhere from about a 5 to 10 mile trek. I'm not sure the exact distance, but we took us a little over an hour or so. But we also stopped, took pictures, so it's nothing too crazy. Okay, as you can see, we were staying here at Ramblin' Roads RV Park. It's actually in Hope, Arizona, but it's just outside of Siloam off of US 60. So what we did is we took US 60 back through the town of Siloam, took Siloam Road, which, if you can see, Siloam Road is actually a feeder route or kind of a shortcut to Siloam off of I-10. Primarily if you're heading westbound on I-10, it's just a shortcut to get to Siloam. If you are coming from, say, the Ehrenberg or Quartzsite, Arizona, you do have another way to come in the back way, and that's just getting off on US 60. So anyways, what we did is we took Siloam Road, and then we turned left or heading north on this Eagle Eye Road. And you got to kind of watch for this intersection. It is marked, but you can blow by it really quick. So then we went north on this Eagle Eye Road, and there will be a staging area just right here. And at the beginning of the video, you see a sign, and you'll see that same sign right there. And basically, the trail will, the four-wheel drive trail will take you up through the Harquahala Mountains up to the observatory. And again, it's about to get to the staging area, it was about a 38 mile trip, and it took us about 45 minutes just to get there. Now, the climb to the top of the mountain could take upwards to an hour or more, depending on your driving methods and if you stop to take pictures and whatnot. Anyways, that's kind of, I just want to show you on the map on how we got to it. And you can see, you can, if you're coming in off of 93 to Wickenburg, how you can get to this area if you wanted to take this trail.